Left 4 Dead 2 is what we in the industry call a fun game. What's not to love about murdering crowds of zombies and watching their intestines spill all over the place? But what if I didn't want to do that? What if I thought, deep down, they were still human, and murder is wrong? So I had to try this, not for myself, but for the betterment of humanity. Can you beat Left 4 Dead 2 as a pacifist? Well, this story starts off great, with us not making it to the evacuation point on time and having to fight all the way to the mall, starting with the hotel. And what's the worst that could happen in a hotel? It's only a place meant to house hundreds, if not thousands, of people at once. And given the fact that the man, the myth, the legend himself, Jimmy Gibbs Jr., is here, well, of course, it's going to be a packed hotel. The first time around, I simply unmapped the fire control, meaning I would never shoot or swing my melee weapon again. At first, I allowed myself to bash, mainly to defend myself, but also to aggro zombies so they'd come after me, meaning my teammates could shoot them. Then I killed a woman, so no more bashing. Don't worry, that rule doesn't last long. I restarted from the top this time. This time, I decided to run through as fast as possible, thinking if I could outrun the zombies, I'd live, and that my allies would catch up. I accidentally killed another woman out of habit, take 3, got my first blow on me, helped my friends back up while my other friend covered me. At the bottom of this staircase, I saw the first hunter I've seen in this playthrough, and nearly shit myself. It was hard to get my friends to kill the hunter. This is a reoccurring issue. They like to sit behind me, but I'm as useful as a monk in an MMA fight, which is like a pacifist in the zombie apocalypse. Finally, the hunter presented itself so my allies' bullets could penetrate their insides, filling it with the loving warmth it deserves. I watched as an idiot killed himself. That caused my game to crash. Back at it again. This time, I was the worst character in the game. Watched my friends as they neglected me. Finally got into the elevator. It went straight to hell. I ran through a Hell's Kitchen episode. Found out I killed 5 whole zombies and did it all again. Fun fact, I didn't need to redo this mission because I ended up throwing out the no bashing rule again, because I hated that rule. The challenge is infinitely harder when you get surrounded by every zombie possible and you have to simply wait for your friends to find and save you. Also, a quick note is that I had to reset my fire control back to the default mouse click so that way I could use med kits, pills, adrenaline, and whatever else. So I had to not fire based on the honor system. Finally, on the second mission of the campaign now, we have to go from the hotel to the mall via the great outdoors and our own 2 feet. Did epic parkour over a trash dumpster, closed the door on my friends and met Karma herself. She looked more ugly than I expected. I saw a tank for the first time. He was definitely using performance-enhancing drugs, but he only got 1 hit on me. A survivor named Whitaker needed some cola, so I went to get it for him so he would blow up a tanker, giving us access to the mall. I got the man's soda, and we had to deal with the horde. I was initially worried about this part, as it was incredibly challenging the last time I played, but that was on Nightmare difficulty. I'm on easy now. I gave the man his soda, and we had access to the mall now. Now inside the mall, I used an EpiPen to speed through this kiosk center, or whatever it is. Had a sense of deja vu. The alarm sounded after I opened the door, causing hordes to descend upon us like the plebs we are. Despite the numerous special infected and even a tank somewhere, we made it out with ease. I disabled the alarm, and we finally made it to the safe room. Only one more mission in this campaign. We need to refuel the car so we can drive it out of here. Now surprisingly, all the fuel is within walking distance of the car. Good for us though, because we have to get out of here ASAP. As the longer we're here, the less likely we are to survive. I started to juggle gas cans as I transported them to the car. I got trapped by 3 zombies for a while. They died when my friends decided they cared. Tried to keep the tank's attention while my friends killed him. Gathered an army of gas cans and began refueling. Not long after fueling the car, I got us out of there with the car and beat this campaign, as somewhat of a pacifist. But there's more campaigning to do. We aren't done yet. Next up is the passing. We started off next to our car in a raised bridge. Our goal? Lower the bridge and pass through. You might think that the title of the campaign, being The Passing, is referring to this, but it's not. Rather, it's metaphorical, as we, the Left 4 Dead 2 crew, are getting the torch passed to us by the remnants of the Left 4 Dead 1 crew. I got punched by a man with a big arm, and make a masturbation joke, but that's too easy. Jumped over a homeless man, stumbled upon a wedding with a sad sap at the altar. Changed the music, that pissed her off. She got me good. Back on my feet, I did some gardening, and made it to the safe room. Thought I was stuck in this ditch, Past a witch. Almost used an EpiPen. Found a big boy in a small place. He died easily enough. Fell into a sewer system. Called the horde in as I dropped back into the sewage. We had to make a mad dash to the next safe room. My allies covered me with their bullets, as the zombies covered me with their guts. Made it to the safe room once again, and was on to the final mission of the campaign. I took the elevator down, and we began our quest to refill the generator. I think this mission throws more zombies at you than other missions in the game, and the reason why is because you have Zoe and Francis covering you from above as you refill the generator, taking the 4 idiots to a whole 6 idiots fighting the hordes of zombies. As for my strategy, I just juggled cans to the generator like I did with the car. I filled up the generator with the last can, and the bridge began to lower. Once it grounded, we crossed on foot, then on wheels. Now on to the best campaign in this game, besides the other campaigns that may or may not be better, the carnival. But first, another hotel. Now the carnival. I'd tell you about my adventures from the hotel to the carnival, but nothing really happened. I got stuck in a window. That was fun. I left feeling the blunt force of 50 hands pounding my brittle bones. A smoker took coach from my loving embrace, and I bashed the smoker to free him. I practiced my shooting at the gallery. I did real well, I think. Took my 3rd bottle of painkillers. I'm sure I'll die any second now. I stomped on one of the zombies' heads like a Goomba, which did kill them, but I was okay with it, because it was kind of funny. I'm not a pacifist on principle. I'm a pacifist because killing is boring. Rochelle died, and I felt nothing for her. I also fell down, but I'm the main character, and the others know what I would do to them if they made me restart. I made it to the Tunnel of Love. Rochelle made a funny joke for the first time in her life, only it's not appropriate for YouTube, so I can't say it. The best part of the Tunnel of Love is that I could finally confess my feelings to Coach. The worst part is that it's a tunnel, meaning it's very claustrophobic. I got pranked by the fat woman at the end of a vent. We finally left the Tunnel of Love. A big roid user went ham on a little white twink. The fat lady returned for round 2. I started the roller coaster so we could walk onto it to progress further. This sucked. I died, for real this time. Back in time, before I died, I was back in the Tunnel of Love. This time, a witch was on the catwalk, blocking my progress. Rochelle was the one to startle her. This time for the roller coaster, I used adrenaline to fly past it. Finally at the controls, I turned off the alarm with no problem. There was not a horde of zombies pinning me into the control booth at all. A short walk later, and I was back at the safe house. I tested my might on one of those hammer hitting machines. I rang the bell, that's cool. I found performance enhancing drugs and did it again, this time breaking the bell and alerting a horde to our location. We, and by we I mean I, made a mad dash to the safe house at the base of the stadium. We made it to the safe room and was on the final and best mission in this campaign. We had to start a concert to alert the helicopter to our location so he could pick us up. I mainly sat up on the scaffolding here. It was a nice perch to watch all the chaos for the most part. One of the few times I fell down, I got instantly killed by a tank. The helicopter flew in to save us. Everything went to complete shit, leading to everyone else's, but not mine, death. I ran over to the helicopter, didn't help my friend, and beat this campaign. The next campaign is us going through a swamp after crashing the helicopter. I found the best melee weapon in the game, the wait for the, I don't know what you call it, ferry, barge, boat bridge thing, was very uneventful. The ride on it was even less eventful. Zombies can't swim apparently. A tank snuck up on me when I was on a bridge. I ran away real fast. Found a safe room in a tunnel of sorts. Someone shat in my eyes. They're pink now. My eyes, not the person. The person is dead. Stuck an EpiPen in me, which is something I need to get better at in real life. Found the second safe house after running like hell to get there. Ran through some sort of hick village. Got shat on again. These hick zombies are some kind of special. I began lowering a ramp to walk across. Don't know why I couldn't walk in the swamp water. Another safe house. At a plantation house now. Called Virgil all the way from the glowing sea to help me escape. Had a real stubborn jockey on me. I hid in Harry Potter's room. It was going pretty smooth until a tank scared away my friends. They couldn't find a way back to me. Soon after, a zombie found me. I was trapped. I couldn't even bash him to escape. More found me. I used my emergency vomit to lure away the zombies trapping me. I then escaped my confines, returned with my friends to my safe space until another tank found them. As soon as I could, I made a mad dash to Virgil's boat and beat yet another campaign. Rochelle looked prettier than usual, as did my pistols. Our objective was to go to a nearby sugar mill to get fuel for Virgil's boat. Don't ask me why a sugar mill would have fuel, I don't know. At this point, I was so hyped up on caffeine I threw caution to the wind and went full gamer mode. This tank threw me to the wind, same as I did the caution. The same tank fucked up Ellis. I got him to his feet. I got Loon Shell to her feet as well. Unfortunately, Nick didn't have the privilege of being brought to his feet. I found a replacement Nicholas. Found the first and last safe room, you'll know what I mean soon enough. I ran past not one, but 2 witches, called an elevator, sat on my phone while it was elevating, de-elevated, used my localized heroin to run through a sugar field, at least I think it was sugar, found the fuel in a gas station, so I was wrong earlier. The return trip was harder, as the storm was hitting us pretty hard now, meaning if you weren't up high, you'd be in flooded areas, which slowed you down. I ascended from the waters of sugar. I got down by a few zombies after running away from my friends. While picking up Loon Shell, I realized we had gas cans on our back. Closed the door to the safe room on a hunter. Did some epic parkour to make sure I retained my hydrophobic ideologies. This tank threw me like how that one kid threw a softball at my head in 2nd grade. I killed a hunter by accident when I bashed it as it tried to pounce me. Realized I had lied when I said the first safe house was also the last. Oops. I turned on the burger tank sign and we began to defend ourselves. I didn't do much here. I fell a couple times though. Eventually Virgil came back and saved us, and I completed another campaign. I'm on the final campaign now. Rochelle was ugly again. Our new goal was to finally find the military so they could save us. I set off a car alarm after jumping on it, found the final first safe room, used the power of the Epi to run past a few dozen zombies, walked right by a witch, used a couple of EpiPens to ignore most zombies to shut off the alarm as soon as possible, yet another safe room, got pinned in a corner and waited for Nick to save me. As soon as I dropped into the sewer, I regretted everything. Made my way through the car alarm heaven without setting off a single alarm. This cemetery seemed awfully void of life, which is both fitting and ironic given the circumstances. Safety in rooms. Literally bashed a witch and it didn't care. Locked myself in a bathroom with a dead woman. Turned on a tractor to move a float so we can progress. I entered the last safe room of the game. Our final task was to run across this bridge to safety. I used an EpiPen as soon as I could to make it as far as I could, as fast as I could. I had a real scary moment when a smoker tried to pull me off the bridge. I noticed the zombies were falling very slowly underneath me. I got saved by my least favorite person. I abandoned my friends as they only held me back. Made it to the helicopter. Was surprised to see Rochelle made it. Looked at an orange speck called Nick. Coach made it. And we left Nick behind. I did not beat Left 4 Dead 2 as a pacifist. Thank you all for watching, and thank you especially if you made it this far. The hardest part of this challenge was keeping myself entertained long enough to not only record it, but to edit it as well. If you enjoyed, please leave a like, and encourages me to do more videos like this one. If you like my content, please consider subscribing, and have a wonderful day.